It's May 21st and I sold this beanie today. So if you've been looking for one, take this as your sign to not wait until the colder months to get your cold weather items listed. So this sold today. It won't be in today's What Sold video because today we will be going over the sales in my resale business from the week of May 12th through May 18th. How is your sales week going? This week for me was better than last week. The sales are up, profits are up, and I made a neat discovery in my own business about my own inventory, and I'm going to take that knowledge and use it to do even better job sourcing, and I'll share that information with you too. If you're new here, hi, I'm Jenny Shaneyfelt. I'm so glad that you clicked on this video. I am an online clothing reseller. For a little over a year now, I have been going to thrift stores, sifting through the racks and finding inexpensive but high quality items and listing them on eBay and Poshmark and selling them for a profit. It didn't take long after first getting started to get my business to the point where it really was making a significant impact in my family's income. So I am so excited each week to come on here and share it with you because it's my hope that I can be a blessing in your business the way other resellers have been a blessing in mine. Each week I do a what sold video and share with you exactly how I had the item listed. You can see the pictures. I'll share with you what I paid for each item, share with you what my profit was, and at the end I'll do a breakdown of what my entire week's profit looked like and share all that with you too. All right, let's look at this first item. First, we have this vintage women's large sheer rosette jacket blouse, black, whimsy goth, dark fairy grunge. Here's your brand tag. It was Olivia Matthews. I did not put that in the title just because I didn't think the brand itself was a top selling point for this. I used that space for more keywords. Oh, and let me show you something else. I tried to position all of these where right up here at the top of the screen, you can see the start time of the listing. So I'm going to tell you, like on this one, it took 112 days to sell. So I'm figuring January 20th was 112 days ago. But if you do see a discrepancy there, if you see that I'm telling you it took longer than it's saying on the screen that it actually took, then you'll know it was a recently relisted item, because that date on the screen is going to tell you when this listing was created. But I do go in and relist like 5 items a day. I'll hit end listing and then I'll do sell similar. Let me know if y'all want me to do a video to show you how to do that, or if you already know how to do that, because I haven't been too long since I've really understood how to do that. So 112 days, I initially paid $3 for this. I listed it for $23. I sent someone an offer for $17. They accepted that. That gave me a profit of $11.51. Next, we have this Ralph Lauren casual rugby stripe top, women's extra large, boxy, pink, white, preppy. I originally paid $1.24 for it. I listed it for $25. I sent someone a 10% off offer and they countered at $19.50, and so I accepted that, and that gave me a profit of $15.26. It was listed for 19 days. Columbia Omni Freeze dress, women's extra large, athletic, advanced, cooling, sleeveless, purple. So this one was listed for 127 days. I initially paid $4.98 for it. I listed it for $24, probably at $24 instead of $25 because I was trying to like beat out somebody else's price. There were probably a lot of these listed. That's probably why I went with $24. They snagged this up on a 20% off sale that I was having over the weekend. I do a sale every weekend. And so they got it for $19.20. That gave me a profit of $11.18. I got this at a thrift store that always has a bag sale running. Speaking of that, I just recorded earlier today. Basically, it was a thrift haul of me going to this same thrift store. On that day, I got 14 items for $10. because I was able to fit all 14 of those items into one bag, and I have a little trick about that. So I showed in that video how I fit them all in that bag. There's like a specific way that you can fold them. So if you need a tip on how to get more in your bag at a bag sale, hop on over and check that out. I'll put it in the description of this video, and I'll try to link it to the end screen as well for you. So I titled this one, Do Everything in Love Kimono at Anthropologie. Here's your tag. I didn't know this was sold at Anthropologie, but after doing some research, I figured out that it was. And although Anthropologie is a really long word and it takes up a lot of valuable title space, I do feel like it's worth putting it in there because people love Anthropologie, and I do feel like they may sit down and search that word out. So the rest of the title was Duster, Floral, Metallic, Cover-Up. This was listed for 27 days. I paid 48 cents for it, and I listed it for 29. The buyer offered me 21, and I said, heck yes. And that gave me a profit of $17.52. I just fell in love with this piece as soon as I saw it. Here, I'll just flip through the pictures. I'll tell you more about it in a minute. Vintage Moiga shell. That's how I said that. Moiga shell. Women's small jacket. Pure Irish linen. Hand dyed. Trimingham. And I have no idea what all that gibberish is at the end of my title. It's definitely not what I wrote in there. But let me flip through the rest of these tags. So this was obviously super vintage. And I normally wouldn't pick up this type of piece in a size small, but I just fell in love with it. And it was just beautiful to me. So I listed it high, but the rest of the world wasn't as excited about it as I was. I still did make a profit, but not as much as I had hoped for, but it was still fun to sell. I had it for 185 days, and this was the only interest I ever had on it, so I did accept the offer right away. I bought it for $3.15. I listed it initially for $69 and had slowly lowered it over time. The buyer sent me an offer for $25, and I accepted that. That gave me a profit of $16.20. Oh, and I'm going to try to remember to tell y'all too if it sold on a promoted listing or not. It did. This one did. So I paid an extra 71 cents in fees on that one. And y'all know I've been doing an experiment this month. This is my 3rd or 4th week to try to see if I promoted every single listing in my closet across the board at 2%. Would that make a huge difference in my sales? This one I had for 176 days, and again, it's May 21st. This one sold on Wednesday of last week, so just a little bit ago. Sweaters, wool sweaters are selling in the middle of summer. It blows my mind, but I'm so glad about it. I titled it Vintage Fieldmaster Women's Extra Large Sweater. Again, why is there gibberish in my title? That is definitely not what I've typed in. I have no idea. So yeah, women's extra large sweater, wool blend, 3D ribbed texture, V-neck gray. So let's see, I paid $6.99 for this because I had just seen a video that day of this type of sweater and how good they did, but it didn't sell all winter. I listed it for $33, and who knew, in the middle of May it sold at full price. Yay! So I am glad that I picked it up. So they paid $33 for it, and that gave me a profit of $20.75. Embroidered bell sleeve, black top blouse, white, women's 22-24W, ruffle boho paisley. So this was Cato again. I've been picking up a lot of Cato and doing pretty well with it as long as the style is good. So Cato, who knew? But the reason that my title is like this is I recently saw a video. She said that the first 5 words of your title carry the most weight. So I'm trying to stick those words in the front. I don't know where she got her information, but she seemed like she knew what she was talking about. That's why it's like that. I just tried to put the most important words in the front. But y'all, I listed this at $25 and it sold in an hour at $25. Full price, same day sale. Love those. So no money into this. My mom gave it to me. So that gave me a profit of $20.93 on a Cato brand. Love it. Okay, next. Denim tank top, Coastal Cowgirl, Rachel Zoe, corset, dark jean, women's small, farm, cottagecore. This was listed for 35 days. I paid 48 cents for it in one of those bag sales. I listed it for 20. Buyer sent me an offer for 15. I accepted. That gave me a profit of $11.52. Next, I had two nursing pieces. This was a nursing dress, and the next one is a nursing piece that sold right in a row, but they were different people, but they sold really quickly. So let me go over these for you, and this is definitely something to keep your eye out for as fast as they sold. So this is a brand called Seraphine. Seraphine maternity nursing dress, size 10, pleated pink mauve, midi, comfortable, flowy. And in the description, you can see down there where it says condition, I put excellent condition. Pleats have some wrinkles but can be ironed. I didn't want them to be disappointed with that. It would take some work to iron those, but you could definitely get it back in regular shape. I could have taken the time to do it, but now I'm glad I didn't as fast as it sold. So I had this for 4 days. I bought it for $5.99. I listed it for $39. I got some $25 offers right away, but because it was so new, I was like, no, I'm going to wait and see what this does based off of comps. But then a buyer sent me an offer for $32, and I did end up going ahead and taking that. So that gave me a profit of $19.61. All right, here's the next nursing piece. It's like a tank top kind of under there, and then you can just raise this part up and then cover your baby's head back up with it. It was neat. They didn't have this stuff when I had babies 14 years ago, I don't think. So this brand is called Latched Mama. So Latched Mama nursing hoodie, women's large, long sleeve, stretch, comfort, black and green. This was only listed for 2 days. I paid $4 for it at a regular Goodwill. I listed it for $25, and it sold at full price. Full price in 2 days. Love it. My profit was $17.07. Next, new with tags, linen, baby doll top, cottagecore pink, puff sleeve, feminine, women large, button V-neck. The brand was this Jodifil. What do y'all say? It always makes me think of Joe Diffie. Y'all remember Joe Diffie? I don't think Joe Diffie has anything to do with this brand, but he may. I don't know. I had this for 24 days. I paid 48 cents for it at a bag sale. All these bag sale items are selling these days. I listed it for $25, and someone snagged it up on my weekend sale. This item was 10% off. So they paid $21.25 for it, and my profit was $17.28. If you guys are new to reselling, or maybe you're just thinking about getting into reselling and you're like, I just don't know if I'll be able to find any good items. Like, I find new with tags items all the time. Good quality stuff that I pay very little for. And y'all saw a couple weeks back my new with tags item that I sold. That was my very biggest sale ever. Paid a little bit up for it, but got a very good deal on it. So just go and look. You will be surprised. You will be surprised. And if you're like me, in the very beginning, it was a little bit overwhelming because I was like, I had watched maybe like 5 what sold videos total on YouTube. And I got in there and I was so excited. I had a couple of these name brands in my head, and I started flipping through the racks and they all disappeared. And it was like the only thing that I recognized was all the brands that I wore, and I'm not a brand person. So it was like Target brands. So it took a couple times of me going and making the connection of what I had heard people talk about and the tags that I had seen, and just kind of being like confident in searching for it. But hang in there if it's something you want to do. It gets easier every single time. But yes, you can definitely find high quality items at thrift stores. So Abercrombie & Fitch butter yellow sundress, women's medium, floral, strippy. Apparently it's a strippy dress. I meant to put strappy. Y2K flowy chiffon. So So many things made me so excited for this dress. Number one was the color, butter yellow. I've been hearing a ton about butter yellow. I picked this shirt up at a thrift store because it was butter yellow, thinking that I would resell it. It's got a cute print on the back. But I loved it so much when I got it home. It's mine now. But I think I found this dress the very same day. So I think it was the butter yellow that drew me into it at first. Then I saw it was Abercrombie and Fitch Y2K. And that is a combination that is great. I was excited when I found this. It was only listed for 6 days. I paid $5.99 for it. I originally listed it for $44. I sent someone a 10% offer, so that probably would have been $40-ish. And they countered $35. So I accepted it, but that was after getting tons of other like $25 offers, tons of likes, and tons of watchers. So I probably could have held out. I probably could have listed it for $55 and sold it for $55, but I didn't. I still got a profit of $22 and a penny. Speaking of Y2K, so the video I told you guys that I recorded today that was about the bag sale and how to pack it into your bag and get more in there. I also went over this little fact and I showed my screen, and so if you want to see it on my screen, you can go to that video. Like I said, I'll link it in the end screen and put it in the description below. But while we're on the topic of Y2K, I wanted to tell y'all about the discovery that I made in my own inventory just today or yesterday. My days are running together because the kids are out of school now and I don't even know what day it is. So I was just kind of playing around with some of the seller tools, and I wanted to see what items that I had currently in my closet that had the most watchers. So I went to that screen. If you don't know how to go to that screen, just look at that other video and it'll show you. And I ordered them from most watched to least watched. And y'all, I wrote this down so I wouldn't forget. 10 of the first 13 items listed were Y2K items. I was blown away. Have you done that in your business? Have you seen any trends in what the most popular items are in your shop? I'd love to hear. Okay, next. So here is one that I relisted. So you see on the top right here, it says April 16th was when this listing was created, but this item was actually listed for 226 days total. I just ended it and relisted it. So I guess this time it was only listed for like 10 days before it sold, but I originally listed it 226 days ago. So this is a Chico's spring jacket, women's medium 8, white crocheted lace, cottage core, boho sheer. There's your Chico's tag. I did put this stain on the inside of the button column thingy. Here's the description over here. Stain on the inside of the button panel near the bottom button, otherwise excellent pre-owned condition. So even though that's something that wouldn't be shown when you're wearing it, I did want to disclose that. So I paid $207. I did not pay $200 for this. $2.79. I listed it for $25. The seller offered, no, I'm the seller. I offered someone $19.12. I probably hit the 10 or 15% off button. No, that would probably been 20%. Anyways, I can't do math in my head. They bought it for $19.12, and that gave me a profit of $13.34. Next, we have this cottage core dress, blue, white checks, gingham. Gingham is, if you don't know, that type of check, like makes me think, oh, well, I put it in the title. It makes me think of Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, that type of check. Tiered ruffle button, Dorothy Prairie. Here's your brand tag. It was Siren Lily, which I did not put in the title. Didn't think that was a big selling point there. It was listed for 274 days total, but as I see on my date there, I relisted it on April 3rd, so it wasn't listed for very long that time. I didn't pay anything for it because my sister gave it to me. Oh, I'm also just now realizing I didn't put the size in that title. Do you guys put the size in your title? I feel like the size is searchable because you put it in other places when you're putting your details in, but I have started always putting the size in my title. Do y'all think that's important? Well, this one sold and I didn't have it in there, but I usually do. I listed it for $24. The buyer sent me an offer for $15. I accepted. That gave me a profit of $12.52. Look, another new with tags item that I found, and I only paid $3.75 for it. So I titled it New with Tags, Wonderly Cottagecore Tiered Dress, Women's Medium, Ruffle, Boho, Milkmaid, Long. It was in pretty much perfect condition. I say pretty much because it did have some like loose strings hanging at the very bottom hem. I just took my scissors and cut it off. It was fine. Here's the tag. It was originally $79. And I think I could have held on for longer and got more for it, but I just wanted to sell more. I just wanted to make more during this week. So I accepted an offer, but originally paid $3.75. It sold in 13 days. I listed it for $49. The buyer offered me $34. That gave me a profit of $23.45. Next, I don't know how to say this one either. Here, let's look at the brand. So is it I Be Cool? Because that's how I would say it. I Be Cool. But is it Ibcool? Ibcool? I don't know. But be on the lookout for this because the comps were pretty good for this brand. I titled it I Be Cool, quarter zip mesh panel sleeve, golf shirt, top, long sleeve, women's large, blue dot. So this had like branding all over it. You can see the zipper even had the little logo. And the big factor about this one was this whole panel of the sleeve from the hem all the way up to the armpit was like real breathable mesh. So I guess golfers really like that. But I got a lot of interest on this. I think I got like a lot of $19, $20 offers. I paid $4 for it and listed it for $33. It was listed for 10 days when I took a $25 offer. And I did hang on to that offer all day long thinking, I think I can get more for this. I think I can get more for this. But at the end of the day, I wanted the sale. I wanted that money now. I didn't want to wait on it. And so that gave me a profit of $16.58. So that's all the sales for this week, but let's get into the profit and the numbers and all that good stuff. So I got a couple more numbers for you guys if y'all are number people like me. Like I don't like math, but I like numbers. I like to talk about numbers when it's talking about money and statistics and all of that. But before we get into that part, my question that I had for you guys today is, do you prefer the cheaper thrift stores where you might not get as high of quality, like my bag sales that I've been going to where I've been paying 48 cents, 70 cents, or would you rather go to like consignment stores where you pay a little bit more, but you can be sure that when you go in there, you're going to be finding some really great brands? I have been to a consignment store once in this past year, and it was only because they were having a sidewalk sale where everything's like $2, so it was basically thrift store prices. I don't know that I can say that I prefer the bag sale type thrift stores, although I do get some really great stuff and I can get a lot for a little. I honestly feel like I prefer more middle of the road thrift stores where it's not a bag sale, but they've got cheaper prices. I think that's my favorite. I think that's my sweet spot. And I love to catch those type of thrift stores when they're having 50% off sale, because they do that a good bit around here. So I think that's my favorite. And I love the thrift stores that no matter if they're having a sale, they have a specific color of tag that's on 50% off. We have one around here that they always have two colors. One's on 50% off, one's on 25%. And then they do a day each month where everything's 50% off. So I think those are my sweet spots. What is yours? What do you prefer? There's no right or wrong way to do it. I'm just curious of what you like. It'd be interesting to see. All right, so I looked at these items that sold today. This is something I've never really looked at before. But the average time that it took my item to sell was 77 days. Interesting. And it's interesting too that I didn't really have any sale in the 70-day range, 80-day range, 90-day range. It was either they were really, really fast sales or like 200-day sales. So it averaged out to the 70. So I don't know, that was interesting to look at. One of the things that I looked at was how much did I spend because I promoted my listings this week. I'm going to look at the whole month that I've been experimenting and report these back to you too. But this week I paid an extra $2.62 to sell those 4 items. So to me, that is worth it. My fear in doing this in the beginning was, is eBay just going to somehow make it to where everything that I sell has been sold off promoted listing? And they definitely have not done that, because I didn't want, I mean, it's not that much more, 50 cents an item, but if it was 50 cents or 71 cents here or whatever, that can add up and make a big difference. But that's definitely not happening. And the profit that I made off of those 4 items that I paid an extra $2.62 to sell, the profit on those 4 items alone was $70.99. So I'm feeling like I like the promoted listing thing. I'm probably going to keep it, and I may play with the percentage. I'll report the whole month to y'all soon. All right, so this week, for the week of May 12th through May 18th, I sold 16 items. 12 were on eBay, 4 were on Poshmark. The total that my customers paid for the item plus the shipping was $490.25. The fees, the platform fees, the promoted listing fees, all of that I paid to eBay and Poshmark were $75.97. So I got to take that out. Also got to take out the price that I paid for shipping. So my price for shipping was $100.23 on these items. Also got to take out the cost of goods. What did I spend initially to buy these items? These 16 items cost me a total of $47.32. So that brings me to a profit this week of $266.73. Much better than the week before. It's picking up. And I just love it. I just love it. It's so much fun. All right, if you like what you've been seeing in my videos, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. You can even hit the share button and send this video to someone who you think might be excited to add reselling to their life as an extra source of income. Check out my Y2K fill-a-bag video. By now, it should be floating somewhere on this screen. Maybe here, I don't know, here. I hope it's helpful to you. See you guys next time. Bye.